Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, we are back on F1 2021 here today. And this video, as you can see, is going to be quite a long one. This is the finale of the BRS League Racing season that I compete on Xbox on Saturdays. And heading into this, I had a 14-point lead over Snipes SB, my nearest championship rival. However, this final round has double points. And that means a lot of things can change very, very quickly. But before we get into that, you can see it says it's raining in qualifying at Abu Dhabi, which I've played these games for 10 years and I have never seen that in my life.
Anyway.
So at the moment, the rain isn't coming down in Q1. So I thought it might be just a glitch or something like that. So we decided to go out anyway. And yeah, coming into this race, we had a 14-point lead over Snipes SB. And I was feeling quite confident. This is a track that's been quite good for me in the past. And apologies if my voice sounds a bit croaky. I've been a little bit ill recently, so probably not too much shouting here today. But yeah, going through Q1, things are working out quite nicely. Just doing a decent bank of a 34.7. But I really wanted to start the race on the medium tyres because I felt that strategy would be the strongest in the race, doing a medium to soft or medium soft. And you can see we've already done one lap on the medium, so we're going to come back in and we decided to go out again. So this is actually my second flying lap that I've done on the mediums. And currently across the line, what's this going to be? It's going to be a 34.913. But I felt like this wouldn't actually be enough, so I decided to go for another lap. So this is 3 laps on this tyre, which is probably a little bit more than you'd want to do if you were trying to do the one-stop strategy. But you're about to see as we go on the exit of this hairpin.
What a legend.
That my teammate is exactly what I just said there. He's been a complete legend, getting a great slipstream, and
thank you so much, bro.
You can see that's really, really helped me out going down this straight. But the problem we have is that these tyres are going to be a little bit older than I would have liked, which is kind of forcing me into potential 2-stop strategy, which is usually decent as well, but it really depends when the safety car comes out, if there is a safety car. But for the rest of this lap, we're going to try and maintain the advantage we got from the slipstream of our teammate. And yeah, I was feeling really confident coming into this race. But obviously with the threat of double points, if Snipes wins, then I have to come in second place. Otherwise, that's the championship over completely. So yeah, there's a lot on the line here. As we go across the line, it's a 34.822. And that is going to be enough to get through into Q3. And you can see, I think our previous lap actually would have just been enough by 100th or so, but I just wanted to be sure. And again, thank you so much to Millsy being a proper legend doing that. So we go out for Q1. Oh, sorry, in Q3 now. And I wanted to save 2 sets of fresh softs for the race in case I have to do a 2-stop strategy. And I've decided to go out on my used tyres from Q1 to set a banker, and then just do one run on a fresh set
so these have done 6%
for the final run. So this is on a used set of tyres, this lap here. And coming across the line, Millsy, that's a 35.6. Coming across the line, what did we do on the used set? So it's a 34.9, which is pretty good for a used set of tyres.
That's on used tyres.
And as you come back into the pits, you'll be able to see we're going to select a set of fresh softs. And if you look at the delta difference between the tyres, we should be gaining 0.6 of a second. And I think there's a lot more time to come in
This is a tyre for.
the driving as well. So I was feeling really confident for a potential pole position. But as we come through into here on our out lap for the final run...
It's raining. Are you serious? It's raining. What the fuck?
It has started to rain, Abu Dhabi.
What the fuck, man? How the fuck is it raining?
And yeah, you can hear we're having a bit of a wind shear, but probably should have maybe checked that a bit earlier. It said it could potentially rain, but I just never expected it to rain around Abu Dhabi. I thought that was a glitch because it said it was going to rain in Q1, Q2 potentially as well, but it didn't. And you can already see...
Yeah, the track's already wet.
Yeah, we should be gaining so much time through here on the soft tyres. And you'll be able to see the traction coming off the bottom hairpin. So go through into here. Through the corners, it's okay. But then once we get the traction coming off this corner, if you just take a listen to this wheel spin.
It's already fucking wet.
Yeah. Not very happy that Snipes managed to get an early lap in. So he went out on the soft straight away, fresh softs. And that means we start P5 in this race. So still not a bad place to start at all. So we're on the mediums, the strategy that I want to be on, but we have done more laps than we need. So we really got to hope a safety car doesn't come out particularly early. So we can just keep on to our two-stop strategy, because the guys ahead of us on the softs, they're probably going to have to go on to a two-stop strategy if it stays like this. So we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And as they go out now, try to get a good start, and we do get a pretty decent launch off the line, which thinking back around the outside of Goxie, outbreaking herself a bit there, and that has resulted in us. We have to concede this position to GBR, Dizzy, and the McLaren, and I just don't think that was particularly necessary for me at this stage of the race. So a bit of poor judgment going into Tail 1, but we have a long race ahead of us, and as long as we can keep close to the leaders, after 3 or 4 laps, these medium tyres should start to cross over to be the fastest tyre itself. So settling into the race, we go on to lap 5, and you can see staying with Dizzy quite nicely, but we are suffering a bit on these tyres. Goxie on the mediums is quicker than us at the moment, as HSR Porky's out the race, and that has brought out a safety car, and that's really not what we wanted at this stage of the race itself. And we have 2 decisions. We have, obviously, we could either go in or we can continue, and we decided to continue to do a different strategy to our championship rival Snipes. And the reason why I did this as well is because I was hoping all the medium runners from P11 to P19 would all stay out as well. And I can confirm that most people didn't. Most people actually pitted, which I was very surprised at, because Snipes has actually come out in P7 or P6, P7, when I was expecting to come out maybe P9 and above or something like that. So we were really relying on people to stay out, and I thought 5 laps, 6 laps into the race they would want to do that, because on fresh mediums the one stop is definitely possible from here. So, and you're about to see Snipes in the Alpine, he is in P7 in this race, so that really hasn't worked out in our favour. And we didn't pit because we would be 3 or 4 cars behind, and yeah, I wanted to maximise the strategy as much as possible, and we have 2 fresh softs. So now we're still in a good position. We've got the track position we need. The one stop should be pretty possible from here. I know Snipes can't go to the end. He's going to have to probably pit again for a set soft. So my goal now is to just try and create as big a gap as possible and hope that he doesn't get through the field quickly, and try and extend the stint as long as I can, because I'm probably going to have to pit 2 more times after this for 2 softs. And the softs are very, very powerful, but yeah, since he's on fresh mediums, the undercut is not going to be as big as it would be if he started on the softs and then went to the mediums. So we've got a bit of work to do here now, but still in a good place. Pace still feels good, and we have the oldest tyres out of everyone here at the moment in the field. So, yeah. Got a bit of work cut out. As you can see on the top left here, Snipes is already up into P5 in this race. So, that's really not good for us. He's made great progress. He's on brand new medium tyres, and he only really has to pit one more time in this race. So coming through into here, maintaining our lead quite nicely. So despite the age of these tyres, the pace is still quite good. At this stage, the Snipes has gone up into P4 now. And if we look at here in the Delta, he's about 3 tenths behind Kirby. And DRS isn't enabled at the moment, but you will see coming into here, I think Kirby just decides to let him pass. Going to here, so now he's up into P3. And yeah, that's really not good for us. So we'll be able to hear a little bit of radio now.
Everyone's just letting them pass or something? What the fuck?
And yeah, the DRS isn't enabled yet, so I'm pretty sure Kirby just let him pass. Maybe because there's a championship battle, he just doesn't want to interfere. But yeah, that really hasn't helped me that much at all. As I believe DRS might potentially be enabled now, which I think it is, yes. And Etel Morris, he stayed out, so he was one of the people who stayed out, but he still has fresher tyres than me. But Snipes has the freshest tyres out of everyone. We make a bit of a mistake, and coming off the exit here, we're really just a sitting duck at this point, and there's really absolutely nothing we can do. So we have to concede this and try and stay with these guys as much as possible, because it's so important that I kind of do damage limitation in this stint now, because I've got to pit twice. So effectively, I'm a pit stop behind already on the likes of Snipes. And if you want a chance to win this race, we've got to push like absolute hell for the rest of it. And as we're coming through into here now, we are just doing our absolute best. But you can see with the fresh tyres and Morris, so we did 3 laps on the 3 push laps in qualifying on these mediums, and 2 cooling down laps, so 2 out laps. So we've done quite a few laps in this, so about 5 laps more than anyone else, and it makes a big difference around this circuit. And you can just see that we're just losing so much time now. We just can't keep with this pace. But again, this is so important that we just try and stick with these guys as close as we can, and I try and go into as deep as I can into this race, because the deeper I go, the older their tires will be and the fresher mine will be, so the bigger the undercut. And then I just got to give it absolutely everything. And I knew at this stage of the race that it was looking very likely that Snipes was going to win this championship, and it was going to be very hard for me to get into the top 3. So everything was going against me right here now, and I knew I just had to do everything I could. So coming through into here, we've actually lost the DRS. You can see how quickly Snipes has pulled away from Morris up ahead, and he only has a few lap pressure tyres in him. So we decide to box now because we have no choice. Otherwise, we're going to get swallowed up by the pack behind us. And now we just got to do everything. You can see a big sigh of, I don't know, nerves, I guess, at this stage. And we don't have that much ERS because we've had to try and use it to stay in the DRS zone. And now this is where the work well and truly begins. We've got to do almost an impossible task now to try and fight for this championship. We've got to do absolutely everything. So coming out of here now, we come out in P18 in this race. So as we skip on to the end of lap 13, managed to catch up to Speed Demon quite quickly, and we are going to be the fastest car on the track. But the good thing we have in our favour is that we do have these softs that we're on are brand new. So again, that makes a fairly big difference. So we've got to try and catch these people as efficiently as we can. Try and save every ounce of that ERS, because you never know when you're going to need it when I catch up to the pack. So Luciano is about 11 seconds ahead of us at this stage. Goxie pitted the next lap. He's 5 seconds behind. And we're going to try not to use any of the battery in this overtake here. And we get that move done, and now we're up into P13 as a few other people have pitted behind us. Coming towards the end of the lap. What is this lap time going to be? It's going to be a 37.1. The gap's 9.6 to Ermine, 8.9 to Luciano. Let's see what it is next lap. So the gap is now down to 6.7 seconds. So we are closing quite quickly. And we're just going to try and eke every ounce out of this tyre. And my championship rival at this stage, Snipes, you can see, is in the lead there. He only has to pit one more time again, and so do we. So we have to try and effectively catch him by a pit stop if we want to beat him in this race. And he's looking very good to win this race. With that safety car, with the rain coming in, the Q3 stopping everyone else from doing a lap. Things are working out for him quite nicely at this stage. But we can't give up. Got to give it absolutely everything we can. And now we have actually caught Luciano. See a big breath of air going out, because we know at this stage, I knew that it's going to be so hard to win this race, or let alone even get into the top 2. We need to get into the top 2 in this race. So we'll go overtake Luciano without the use of ERS up into P7 at this stage. And we've got to try and catch these people at the right time. So coming through into here, what do we do now? We actually are going to box, because I think these people are staying out for the end of the race as well. And now we have pretty much 7 laps to get back into the top 2. That's what we need to do in this race. And you can see again by my reaction, we know this is going to be the stint of my life if we're going to have any chance. And we come out in P16. P16 we have come out in, and that's almost a net P16, and that we were last for a second. So coming out here, 7 laps to go, we were almost in last place, and I don't think anyone else has to pit again at this stage of the race. So yeah, I think everyone is going to the end now, and we have got an absolute mammoth task ahead of us. So we're going to stay on board for pretty much most of this last stint, as Goxie has pulled over with an issue. So now we've been promoted into P15. And as I said, we've got to do the absolute stint of our life to do this. Snipes isn't winning the race at the moment, but he has pitted for softs as well. And I think he's pretty likely to catch the leader. So this lap here is really important. I'm going for the fastest lap here, and I'm giving it absolutely everything on this lap, because no, Snipes doesn't get the win. I just want to get as many points as I possibly can, just in case he doesn't. Or no, I think if he wins and I'm second, it will be tied on points, and then it'll be whoever has the most wins. So if I get the fastest lap, I will definitely win the championship if I come second with the fastest lap. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And we managed to time it quite nicely with the DRS on E.T. Maris, who is another championship rival who could have won the championship here today, but at the moment, doesn't look like it's going to happen for him, as we're doing 2 purple first sectors, 1.4 seconds up. So we've got nothing to lose here at this stage. We are just giving it absolutely everything. And the gap is 1.7 to NXR Mark. And I want to try and catch him for the first sector so we can get the DRS on him. And coming through into here, Snipes just a fast up of a 36.9. So let's see how much faster we are going on this lap. And going across line, 36.9 to beat. What have we done? It's going to be a 35.3. So 1.6 seconds faster. I know we had the use of the DRS, but we were pushing like an absolute madman at this stage of the race here. So again, we've got a whole train of cars up ahead, and we're still in P14. So we've got 5 laps to go. We're in P14. We need to be in P2 at the end of this race. And yeah, so we've got the DRS here, and we're just going to try and be a little bit smart about it. because the guy ahead of me has the DRS from the car ahead of him. There's no way we're going to make an overtake here. So you can see under braking through the corners with these fresh softs, we are going to be much faster. But I'm just using this as an opportunity for now to save as much battery power as I can. So coming through into here, see a whole squad of cars look like I'm going side by side, and I was thinking I got down the inside, and let's see what happens here. So we're going to go around the outside of Wookie 39, and his red light's flashing, so we're going to go down the inside here, and we've got to take some risks now for the championship. We cannot afford to be sitting behind people, and we just about get that move done. So fair play to him, leaving the room required. Now going into the final couple of corners, and now we're up into P13, but we have 4 laps to go. We still got to make up 11 positions in this race. I don't think anyone is going to be pitting, so we have to overtake all these cars on track. And the yellow flag came out, and someone's gone off there. So GPR Dizzy has gone off, so we're up into P12. I was really hoping for a safety car. A safety car, well, even if a safety car, that would be 2 laps. So I don't know if that would actually really help us that much. But coming off the exit here, let's see what we do. So we're going to use the overtake here, because I was hoping that myself and Mark would overtake the Ferrari, both of us, at the same time. So his red light is flashing. Got to do the overtake here. Cannot afford to stay behind. So got to go down the inside. The Ferrari leaves sufficient room, so fair play once again. And on the exit of this corner, I knew that Mark was running low, so we turn off the ERS quite early. He goes defensive, but we're going to have more than enough straight line speed to get this move done. And now we are up into P10. So we are into the points paying positions, but we still have 8 positions that we need to go for. Still have the fastest lap of this race, which could be absolutely crucial when we come into the last lap. And we're going to do the same again. We're going to try and get in the DRS zone of James B 2004. My teammate is up ahead of him, which I suspect is not going to make it too difficult for me to get past. So we're just going to hang tight here, save our ERS once again, and try and be as close as we can onto the exit of the main straight. So we have 3 laps to go after this one. You can see the grip of the soft tires, how much we are actually closing in. It's insane how much more grip we still have, and that's why it was crucial that we saved a set of fresh softs. So if these weren't fresh softs, then we would not be closing in at this rate. So again, going to use a little bit of the overtake, but turning off quite early, and we're going to get this move done on my teammates, which then we are going to get the DRS on James B 2004, but we're going to let him have this corner, go for the switchback on the exit, and trying to get a good exit. And he has 9 seconds worth of penalties as well, so I thought he wouldn't make this too difficult because he has 9 seconds. And we're going for the overtake, but yeah, he goes down the inside, so wanted to fight that, but we left room as he was doing that, but that hasn't really cost us too much time. And now we're up into P8, but we still have 6 cars we need to overtake if we want to get into P2 with only 3 laps to go after this. But the good thing right now is that we are catching people at the right time of the race. So Alex Yeno is on much older soft tires than us. He doesn't have DRS from the car up ahead. So again, just try to be smart and save our ERS as much as possible, and try and make sure we're in the DRS zones. We're using a little bit of it here just to ensure we are within that DRS zone, a very crucial DRS zone. But it looks like he might get the DRS on the car up ahead of him as well. So the detection point is just after this corner, and I think he has got the DRS on the car up ahead of him as well, which is not what we needed. I wanted him to really be slow down the straight. So again, we've had to use a little bit more ERS than we'd like, and you can see this isn't really helping our cause at all. So making sure really close up under the braking. use the grip from these tyres, try to get a good exit coming off here, and we have no choice but to use it because he has the DRS as well. So we're going to go through the middle of both of these cars, and that has really hurt our ERS levels. If he didn't get the DRS going through that first sector, we might have been able to get him and without having to use that much of the battery power. But again, we've got Luciano up ahead of us, and we should be catching him in the first sector of the next lap. But we are still only in P6. We still have 4 cars that we need to beat in this race, because at the moment Snipes is right behind the leader if you can look at the mini-map itself. And coming through into here, yeah, we're not going to be close enough into turn 1, but this is fine, and we should be able to overtake MV33 Red Bull together like I've done with other cars. And so far we've gone from P16 to P6 in this, so 10 cars in the space of 6 laps. You can see the speed once again, but we're not going to take a risk going to this sequence of corners, but we understeer just a little bit, so we can't afford to make any mistakes at this stage. So trying to get a really good exit off this hairpin, having to use a bit of the ERS once again, but then turning it off nice and early. And looks like the Red Bull is fighting a bit, but his red light is flashing. I think all of our red lights are flashing, so we're going to get this move done. He decides to back out of it. He doesn't want any part of this battle. And then coming off the exit here, he goes out wide. We're not going to use any of the ERS because I know he is low on the battery himself. And we're going to go round the outside. And now we are up into P4. But Kimi up ahead has 3 seconds worth of time penalties. So all we have to do is get within 3 seconds of him. But we do have to overtake TTM on this. So the gap is 6.4 to him, 2.9 to TTM on this. So keep an eye on this gap. In this last sector, especially these 2 corners, I don't know what happens to Ollie here, but he loses 6 to 7 tenths in those corners, and I think Kimi did as well. So it shows we still have life in these tyres, and we need to get within the DRS zone of this first sector. So we just gained a second in that last sector. You can see, gained over 1 second through that last sector there. And I thought to myself, we can still do this. We can still overtake Ollie and get within 3 seconds of Kimi. If we do that, we win the championship. We still have the fastest lap of the race itself. And you can see we're using the overtake button here now, and we're definitely going to get within the detection point. The gap is now 4.8 to Kimi, so we're gaining so much time on the Alfa Romeo as well. But now coming through into here, if you don't enjoy swearing, then please mute this part and we will discuss it afterwards. But right in this moment, we have a decision to make. Do we go for it around the outside, or do we let him have this corner? And you're about to see what happens. So I'm just going to let you listen to this now.
Fucking doing it, cunt! What is he fucking doing?
And yeah, we will talk about after this, but still a little bit of action to come on this last lap. So I knew at this stage, unless Kimi gets a penalty, we're going to go down the inside here. And yeah, still going side by side through into this corner. Let's see what happens going through into this one. Still going to give it absolutely everything. A lot of wheel banging there. And yeah, I knew at this stage, unless Kimi got a penalty in the last 2 corners, it was going to be it. Never know what can happen. Losing our heads just a little bit here. And cue headphone users as we cross the slide.
Fucking dickhead! Fucking would have got that. I fucking would have got 2nd place. It was a fucking dickhead. Fuck's sake, man.
And yeah, we'll have a little look over that. I'm not really going to give my perspective so much because, to be honest, it's going to be very biased. But
Let's see where he is.
Having had time to look at this, take a few days out, I think in the moment, I definitely let the emotions get the better of me. The reason why I went around the outside there is because I felt like if I gave him the corner, he was just going to go really slow in the corner. And then that would kill all my momentum going through it. And then I needed to carry as much momentum as possible. So, yeah, I decided to... I was hoping that he would break early to try and get a detection. And then I would just have so much grip that now I would have enough of a gap on the exit. But, yeah, I'll let you watch this and I'll let you decide what you think. But for me, personally... Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with my reaction for the swearing to Ollie and just swearing in general. I apologize to that, to Ollie himself and to everyone else. It's okay to react, but I think some things you say definitely need to be a bit controlled. But no, in the moment itself, it's not always the easiest thing to do. But I'll let you listen in to after the race here of a few comments I actually made. So here we go.
Yeah, GG to Snipes, taking nothing away from him, but obviously it's a bit annoying in the moment. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, I'm sorry for swearing. Yeah, I'm sorry to Ollie for swearing, but yeah, it's
And yeah, that was the race, and it was one of the most intense races I've done in my life. I love driving in it. Obviously gutted about the result, and yeah, again, I'm not really going to say too much in the incident. I'm always going to be a bit biased with myself being involved in it, but in terms of the swearing to Ollie, I apologize to you. I'm sorry for the things I said there. You know, it's when you've worked so hard for a championship and you've put everything into it. I know some people are going to make fun of that and won't understand, and that's fine. People are completely entitled to their opinion. That's no problem whatsoever. But for me, it's obviously, I'm very, very passionate about it. And yeah, just got the better of me on that occasion. I thought I was going to do it on that last lap. Getting that second place, that would have been absolutely incredible after that last stint. And I think in the race itself didn't really go my way. So, but GG to Snipes again. As I said at the end of the race, I congratulated him straight away. I apologized to Ollie, and yeah, the only thing I can say is at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and again, I know people go have different opinions and make fun of that reaction, everything, which is perfectly fine. That's just social media, and when you put yourself out there online, that's what happens. But one thing I see people saying is that when you're streaming to loads of people, you're an entertainer, YouTuber. That's something I don't agree with. What I feel is that everyone is a human being. End of the day, for me, I don't see myself as an entertainer or YouTuber. I'm just someone who uploads my videos because I love racing, and I stream racing because I just love competing against people. It's great that you have a lot of people watching you, but for me, I'm a competitor first. I do it because I love to do it, and for myself personally, I would rather watch people who are natural in their emotions, and some people might not like that, some people do. With me, obviously it's good to control your emotions, but I'd rather show myself rather than have a fake personality and yeah, just don't react at all and be completely unnatural. So I wear my heart on my sleeve. Sometimes it gets the better of me, sometimes it doesn't. But I just want to say I really hope you enjoyed that race. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Next season actually starts this Saturday straight away, so we are straight back into it with a very, very competitive field. So I just want to say thank you to BRS. Thank you to everyone supporting me. Make sure you check out the buy bit on the QR code here. The first 100 people who sign up to this will be eligible for monthly prizes, including F1 tickets to some Grand Prix. Thank you so much, and I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.